Welcome to Greybeard Philosophy, bringing ancient wisdom and daily practice to the inner life in the wildernesses we journey, one practice at a time. I'm Dr. Brian Winsor. In this essay, I'm not arguing against leadership training. I'm naming why it so often disappoints. Training can add tools and language, but it can't build inner discipline for you. And any system, whether a school, a family, or a personal life, will eventually drift toward the character of the people sustaining it. Most leadership training fails for the same reason most New Year's resolutions fail. It assumes that if we change our techniques, our lives will follow. They don't. I spent years inside educational organizations, schools, teams, systems across the country, watching well-intentioned people attend workshops, adopt new frameworks, and return inspired. For a while, things improve. Meetings are sharper, language is better, posters appear on the walls, and then slowly everything reverts. The problem isn't the training. The problem is that systems do not create character. They reveal it. Base camp is the self. Epictetus reminded his students that the only thing truly under our control is our assent, our agreement, our permission. What we agree to internally, not policy, not position, not outcomes. Yet we behave as though external structure will rescue us from internal disorder. We want better calendars without better attention, better communication without better honesty, better culture without better courage. Before we ever lead others, we lead our thoughts, our habits, our fears, our avoidance. That's not a metaphor, it's structure. Your personal life is already a system, and your inner life is its base camp. It has rules, spoken or unspoken. It has incentives. It has tolerated behaviors. It has a culture. So it is your campus, your classroom, your department, your family, your inner dialogue. No leadership program can compensate for a life lived without discipline. Systems are honest even when we aren't. Marcus Aurelius warned himself repeatedly not to pretend to be virtuous, but to be virtuous. Why? Because reality eventually exposes internal character through performance. Organizations behave the same way. A system will always drift toward the character of the people who sustain it. If fear is tolerated privately, it will appear publicly. If avoidance is practiced quietly, it will surface structurally. This is why policy fails. This is why strategic initiatives and reforms stall. This is why people feel exhausted, but cannot name why. The system's not broken. It's functioning exactly as designed by our repeated choices. Compassion without discipline is sentimentality. Thich Nhat Hanh taught that mindfulness is not awareness for its own sake, but awareness that leads to right action. To see clearly and refuse to act is not compassion, it's attachment to comfort. Leadership training often stops at awareness. Be more empathic. Communicate better. Build trust. But trust is not built by intention. It's built by consistency under pressure. That requires discipline. The discipline to tell the truth, to disappoint people when necessary, to act before resentment hardens into culture. This applies whether you lead a corporation, a family, or a conscience. What actually changes things? Real transformation begins when we stop asking, what system will fix this? And start asking, what behavior am I sustaining? Virtue is not an abstract moral ideal. It is practiced daily in small, often uncomfortable choices. No training program can do that for you. No system can substitute for it. And no organization, internal or external, can rise above the character that animates it. Leadership training can teach skills, but skills can't hold when the inner life is exhausted, cluttered, or reactive. That's why the next post will turn inward. What is base camp, and how do we keep it steady enough to choose well? An internal practice, watching what you tolerate. Over the next few days, notice the moments when something feels slightly wrong, but not wrong enough to confront. Pay attention to the comment you let pass, the behavior you excuse, the delay you rationalize, the discomfort you avoid naming. Don't judge yourself for noticing these moments. Just simply observe them. Then ask yourself quietly, what am I tolerating right now? What explanation do I use to justify that tolerance? If this pattern continues, what kind of system will it become? Finally, sit with this question, not to answer immediately, but let it work on you. Here's the question. If systems reveal character over time, what might my current tolerances be teaching? First me, and then others. This practice is not about blame, it's about honesty, because no system ever drifts toward virtue accidentally. It moves there only when someone notices and chooses differently. In the next episode, we'll go beneath systems and training to the deeper premise. The base camp is the self. Before we lead anything outward, we're already being led inward by attention, habit, fear, desire, and conscience. Hey, thank you so much for listening to Greybeard Philosophy. If this podcast helps you, stay with the practice. Small and faithful is enough. You can find the written version of this podcast at greybeardphilosophy.com. Until next time, be kind to yourself and learn something for the next trek.